What a welcome for the #1 team in the country. As you hear the boos in the background at Steve Spurrier Field in Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. First trip for the #1 team into the swamp in 19 years. Since 1992, when Florida and Alabama met in the conference's first championship game, much of the story of modern-day SEC football has been authored by these two teams.
Alabama wins the inaugural Southeastern Conference Championship.
Florida, winner of 7 SEC championship game titles, the most recent coming against Alabama, coached by Nick Saban. In the rematch the following year, the tide was turned, kick-starting a dynasty largely responsible for the program's 9 SEC championship game victories.
Alabama, the dreaming is over.
Last season, the stars aligned once more, and these two teams met in a championship game for the ages.
Touchdown, Alabama!
Touchdown, Gators!
Alabama survives in a great SEC championship. The dawn of a new season's brought new faces to familiar places.
Gets it, looks long. Touchdown, Alabama!
Richardson, he throws the ball. Touchdown, Gators! Oh, man!
And now the Tide and Gators are ready to write yet another chapter in their storied rivalry. And this chapter is chapter 42. Alabama has won the last 7 over Florida, their first trip into the swamp for the Tide in 10 years. And with that, the Home Depot SEC on CBS brings us to Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, the swamp in Gainesville. It's top-ranked Alabama. It's number 11 Florida. A packed house, over 90,000. It's the hottest ticket in this facility in a long, long time. Welcome, everybody. I'm Brad Nessler with Gary Danielson and Jamie Erdahl. Partner, what a way to kick off a full-fledged weekend of SEC action, and we get a rematch of the beauty we had at Mercedes-Benz Stadium back in December, the title game between these two.
Ness, I was thinking, we've done a lot of games together in college football. Is there anything better than a highly ranked team going on the road to battle a legitimate team? Is that the best that you can do?
It is, and the best that we've seen over the last 4 years. You know, you didn't even have to have last names for the Alabama quarterbacks.
Right.
It was Jalen, Tua, Mac. Now it's Bryce.
It is, and this is one cool customer, Bryce Young. He's taken over a program. He knew what he was stepping into. The success here, what's expected of the quarterback, but he has been groomed for this job. Now, it's going to look a little different. The crowd is one thing. Last year, Mac Jones got to do it with nobody in the stands and a Heisman Trophy guy. This time, there's a plethora of receivers, no names yet, but running backs and receivers, a little bit more by committee, but we know this, Nick recruits good players.
Well, Bryce Young is the man. For Florida, it's the men, because they got 2 quarterbacks that have played very well in the first 2 weeks.
It's worked so far, these 2 guys, but out at practice, the first thing, the storyline has been Richardson hamstring. And it's right up until game time, still a question mark.
Well, speaking of the question mark, maybe we can get an answer from Jamie Erdahl. Jamie.
Well, our ears certainly perked up yesterday when Anthony Richardson told us that his first and worst hamstring strain came back in spring football. So what we saw from Richardson last week was actually a re-injury of that right hamstring. Saturday evening, he had an MRI. Friday morning, another one. The imaging says the hamstring has greatly improved. He is medically cleared to play. However, when I spoke with head coach Dan Mullen an hour ago, he told me that Richardson will not play today unless Emory Jones gets hurt. Guys, a far cry from the 2-quarterback system Mullen really wants, but Richardson has cleared himself medically to do backflips during warm-up, apparently.
Okay, so if that's a bad hamstring, partner, how can he play when he's healthy?
If I could do that, I'd still be playing.
That's right.
Well, it's going to be a lot different. Florida's gotten comfortable with the 2 quarterbacks, making the defense look at both guys. So it's Emory Jones' job, but you can see what Dan has done with 2 quarterbacks. He's done it in the past with Chris Leak and Tim Tebow. So now, Emory Jones, who I thought kind of felt the athletic ability of Anthony Richardson behind him, has to calm down. It looks like his game, He's up against the best. Let's see what happens.
I know one thing, the crowd's not calm. Number 11, Florida. Number 1, Alabama. The kickoff is coming up in moments. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Subway, Under Armour, Allstate, and by the Home Depot.